I've done a ricotta and spinach cannelloni. I've also done a meat cannelloni for you, but I haven't shown you my eggplant and ricotta cannelloni. This is fantastic and it's a great substitute for meat. Now, before we get onto the filling, let's get onto the sauce. A very simple sauce, 3 cloves of garlic that I'll finely slice. This is just a classic tomato sauce, and now some olive oil in a pot just over a medium to high heat, a good glug of olive oil, about a tablespoon or 2. We'll add our garlic, and I like to add the garlic when the pan's not too hot so it doesn't burn and you've got more control over the cooking of it. I'll also add a pinch of sea salt, and just for some heat, some chilli. So again, cutting them into rounds so we have a slight texture in our sauce. All right, I'll add that to our oil, and then we'll just give that a quick swirl. And this takes no more than 10 seconds. This is the perfect time to add 700 grams of tomato passata, also just good old classic tomato puree. And I'll give that a quick stir before it starts to splatter everywhere. Perfect. Now it'll start to boil, so we'll turn it down. Lid goes on. That's it, that's how fast the sauce is to do. This is going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's really rich and thick. While that's happening, let's get on to the ricotta and eggplant filling. These eggplant have been cooking in the oven for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees. You can see they're super soft, they've shriveled up a little bit. And now, just with a knife, we're going to pierce them, open it up, and you'll see this gorgeous silky flesh. So we'll just take off all that skin because it's bitter. We don't want that. And essentially we want all of that flesh. So just take your time doing it. Now we'll take the top off and we'll pop that into a food processor. I'll do the second one and then I'll just roughly chop it. You don't want to puree. We don't want baba ganoush for this. Okay, so I've pulsed this about 4 or 5 times just to roughly chop our eggplant. That's what we're looking for. Now we can add some extra creaminess to this. A good amount of fresh ricotta, whole milk ricotta for this, and a generous handful of freshly grated parmesan. You could also use pecorino for this. And just for some freshness, good old lemon zest will go straight into the bowl. Now with a wooden spoon, I'll just scrape down the sides and then again pulsing it. Okay, pretty happy with this. So now it's time to fill a piping bag with our eggplant mixture. I'll take the blade out, scrape it down so we're not wasting any of our mixture. Now, piping bags make life so much easier, but if you don't have a piping bag, of course, you can just use some teaspoons. I like to cup it around my hand, just like this, and then we'll just fill it up, scooping it. I should also mention, as I was blending the eggplant, I added a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, now I'm just going to tighten the bag, give it a bit of a twist. Now we're ready to fill our cannelloni. Now, I'm using these instant cannelloni. They're fantastic. You don't need to pre-cook them and they cook perfectly in the oven with the sauce without drying out. I'm just going to take the end off the piping bag and then very carefully fill it on one end. You can see how smooth our mixture is. It comes out quite easily. And then I like to turn it around and then fill the other side, just so it's nice and compact. The more filling, the better, I say. So I'm going to continue these, and then it's as easy as putting this whole dish together. Now I've filled all of the cannelloni with the eggplant, so let's start assembling. This sauce is thick and rich. It's reduced by half. I'm just going to scrape down the sides. And now we'll pour half of it into a baking tray. We want to reserve the other half for the top and just spread it out just so it coats the base evenly. I also like to add a good drizzle of extra virgin olive oil just so our cannelloni don't stick. Now we can start filling it up. So just put the cannelloni side by side Once I finish filling this tray with the cannelloni, I'll add some more sauce, some cheese, and then cover it with some Glad foil so it steams nicely in the oven. The last 10 minutes, I'll take it off so it goes golden brown. So all up in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees. Now it's really important to take that foil off the last 10 minutes so it turns out like this. Crispy on the top, golden, and the last thing we need to add to this is just a little bit of freshness from some basil. So I'm just going to take a few little sprigs off my plant and then drop them down very organically. Spread them out. And this is one of those things you just take to the table as is. A beautiful fresh salad if you like. I'm gonna dig in now because I can't wait to try this. Now I'm feeling very peckish, so I'm gonna take 3 cannelloni out. And it's a little bit hot, so I'll get my tea towel. And then we'll just lift them up. Place that in my bowl. And I want to cut into this just so you can see how creamy that eggplant is, straight down the centre. Look at that, perfectly creamy. They're filled nicely. I'm gonna have a taste. That is such an awesome dish. That creaminess of the ricotta and the creaminess that you get from the eggplant is very prominent too. I love this. You know what? I'm a true believer of having at least one night off meat a week. This should be your go-to dish.